This is The Healthy Healer, where true voice is your medicine. This is where we help doctors and other healers navigate through the challenging times by learning from the best minds in the healing industry. Laugh, cry, and be surprised. It's entertainment, education, and inspiration so you can continue to be the unique and amazing healer you were destined to be. Welcome to humanity. Welcome to The Healthy Healer with Dr. Fred.
Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Fred, and welcome back to another short edition of The Healthy Healer. I interviewed Jeanne Bessette earlier this week, and it was really an important interview for me. We started looking right directly at how art, especially conscious art, plays a role in the healing of humanity. Jeanne is someone who grew up with a gift. She had a family that actually explored many different things with her, but she didn't fit in exactly as an artist. She became very interested in her own core values and her sense of how to create integrity and safety, as well as really getting in tune with nature as it delivers to you when you're aligned with your core values. The synchronicity and serendipity that occurs in that setting is undeniable and often seems like a surprise. But when you accept it as a universal truth that when you're aligned with your basic core principles, the universe conspires to get you what you need and what you want, it becomes a way of life. And when I spoke with Jeanne, I got that's how she has seen her life unfold as well. You go through life really looking at what is your contribution. And in Jean's case, she knew that she was an artist. She knew that she was a clairvoyant. She knew that she was an empath from the very get-go, that she could see things that other people couldn't see, and then was able to create it as sort of a vessel putting out art that initially was much more maybe, let's say, traditional or conventional in that it created massive sales, and she was in on many different galleries and was selling her art and making lots of money and getting a name for herself. But eventually became clear to her is that this wasn't aligned with the kind of artist that she knew herself to be. And she had to stop and really take a look at what was the kind of artist that she needed to be. Where was the healing going to come from? And she got a new sense of what it means to be an artist, what it really means to be a mystical badass, what it really means to be a conscious visionary. And she was able to really change her life, transform her life, and see art as the healing tool that we have talked about here in The Healthy Healer can be utilized to heal so many conditions, psychological and beyond. Now her career continues to thrive and she's building up a discerning clientele, people that really find her work to be like eminently effective in taking on what it is that is ailing them. She is interested in helping people open their heart, and even sees herself as a conscious artist, a creative spirit, a soul alchemist, and a truth seeker, as well as a heart focused human and a divine traveler like anyone else. This is really an interesting role and concept that we have taken on in The Healthy Healer. And I've also taken it on in my Welcome to Humanity and in my book that I wrote in 2020 called The Creative Eight. The Creative Eight looks at multiple ways to deliver healing, not only to ourselves, but to the world around us, using art and direct and honest creativity. And that means actually doing the art, actually being the vessel that art flows through and then lands on whatever the platform is. Like she says, puts plastic on canvas and calls that oil painting. And really, this is what we're doing together is we are creating with the materials that have been given to us the possibility of art or the delivery of self-expression through what then gets called art to assist people to find what is important to them and then to realign themselves, whether they are the artists themselves or they're the recipients of the art or the receivers of the art or the viewers or listeners of the art that gets created. There is a sense of healing that can take place with that resonance, with that harmony. And I found that Jeanne has already discovered that for herself and actually lives that as a rule. We also talked very openly about having core values at the center and before making important decisions, asking whether joy and core values are satisfied, the need for joy or the exploration of joy and the need for being aligned with our basic self is satisfied before you move forward. This is how Jeanne lives her life. And we talked about the fleeting nature of what core values really are and how we can use creativity as a way of expressing our core values, aligning with our core values, and helping others do the same. So I couldn't be more aligned with the idea that art and music, dancing, singing, drama, cooking, writing, gardening, the creative aid are really important in addressing mental health. But when I talk to Jeanne and with other artists, I really have to see that it might be way beyond mental health and might be our whole physical, spiritual, and emotional selves as well. It's a whole holistic person, the human being that each of us are now. Just as you are occupying the body that you have here on earth and the human being or the spiritual or divine traveler that you are, just like Jeanne. So I invite each of you to look at where are you being creative and where are you being a communicator? Where are you taking on these talents and maybe not giving yourself that kind of credit? And when you do explore who you are as an artist, who you are as a creative, you might find that actually utilizing these skill set or these blessings or these gifts that came with you as a human can really lead directly to a sense of overall healing. So thank you very much for being a listener for to the Healthy Healer podcast. It's always a pleasure to communicate with you, and I invite you to support the podcast by sharing, liking, and commenting, and ultimately by subscribing to the podcast so people like you can get access to these amazing conversations like I had with Jeanne earlier this week. In the meantime, I will catch you on the flip side, and it's always a pleasure. And arrivederci. Bye for now.